What is up, ladies and gentlemen of the interweb? Today, we're talking about what EA did in the United Kingdom's government. So EA and Epic, they were over in the United Kingdom. They were hanging out, having a good time, drinking some tea. But then they were questioned about whether or not they think loot boxes are unethical and what loot boxes are along that lines. And their response was, loot boxes are not what we do. We have surprise mechanics, like a Kinder Egg. You never know what you're gonna get, but it's definitely not loot boxes, and it's definitely ethical. It is not gambling at all. Well, as somebody who has spent roughly $4,000 in my lifetime on FIFA Ultimate Team, I can tell you 100% that it is definitely gambling. It is definitely addicting. It is not like a Kinder Egg. A Kinder Egg, what you get is gonna come out and it's gonna be like some cheap toy. But when you gamble with FIFA Ultimate Team or EA with loot boxes in general, what you're gonna get is usually either gonna be some horrible trash player from the United Kingdom, or some god from Mexico, or some god from Spain. But most times it's gonna be some like rich off the curb, like you found it on the ground player from like Ireland or the Netherlands or I don't know, Venezuela. You usually never get someone good, so you end up having to spend more and more money in hopes to get the good players. And then even on top of that, you got to keep their contracts, you got to keep everything up for them, okay? It's an expensive thing if you want to try to do it like on a competitive level, which is what I used to try to do when I was a little bit younger. Now I kind of stepped back from EA FIFA Ultimate Team, and now I only get FIFA every 2 years. I skipped out on FIFA 19, but FIFA 20, I am ready to spend over $500 throughout that game's lifetime to make sure I have the superior Ultimate Team. So as you can tell, I personally don't really have anything against loot boxes, but I understand that they are not ethical, that they are gambling. So with EA just straight up lying here, it's pretty much, you know, a showing that they do not care. They will gank it as worse as they can. Games like FIFA, NHL, Madden, etc. Those games, loot boxes make sense. They're not good, but they're not bad either. But in the other games that they put loot boxes in, Overwatch, Anthem, Battlefield, Battlefront, all that stuff, there's no reason for loot boxes to be there in those titles. Loot boxes were not always a bad thing in games. Originally they were pretty good, and they were pretty fair and balanced. But now, EA specifically has taken it to the next level. They are literally marketing these towards children to promote child gambling. They also promote it in a way that you truly cannot enjoy the game unless you spend money on these loot boxes. Look at Battlefront 2. Unless you wanted to spend, I think they said 40 hours grinding, you had to pay money to make sure you get Darth Vader, to get Anakin, to get Han Solo, to get everybody. I didn't exactly play through the game's multiplayer, I only played the story, so I don't know the characters, but you get the gist. But this is just another long line of EA lying and just being shown wrong like every single time they open their mouth. Most recently, they were out here saying that single player games are dead, and now in hopes to save their company, creating a single player Star Wars game, a linear single player Star Wars game. So EA is often proven wrong. They're not exactly the good guys, they're just a guy. What do you think about EA and their loot box scandals that they keep finding themselves in? I think it's quite ridiculous. I think they should just leave them in the sport titles, but take them out of everything else, because they really don't make sense in anything else except for the sport titles. Because the FIFA game is their bread and butter. That is their golden ticket. That's where they make their money. They take a loss on Madden, they take a loss on NBA, they take a loss on Battlefield, they take a loss on Battlefront, and they're most likely going to take a loss on Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. FIFA is where they're going to make all their money. They make close to $1 billion a month with FIFA, and that is insane. So that is definitely where their focus is. So if they're going to be putting loot boxes in their games, one, don't lie to the government about what it is. Just be honest. I mean, what are they going to do? Ban it from having loot boxes in the United Kingdom? The United Kingdom has a population of like 12 people and Pete Donaldson. It's not gonna matter if they can't have loot boxes. That's just one country. Belgium doesn't have loot boxes anymore, and you're doing just fine. As long as the United States has loot boxes, they're not gonna hurt on money, because we make up like 95% of the people who buy loot boxes. So until the United States government starts targeting this, which there are bills being introduced for it, I don't think EA should just be lying to their government. I think they should wait and lie to the government when it matters. When it comes to the United States, then they have full right, full permission to lie, because otherwise they're gonna just get it made outlawed for everybody. And like I said, loot boxes are a necessary evil in mobile games. Most of those games are free, so you get loot boxes kind of as a tip box. And it's okay, but that's just one man's opinion. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, try not to die, and I will see you in the next video.